Hey, what's up, sports bettors? Matt Modi here with OddsJam. What we're going to do in this video, we're going to bet some NFL player props. So we have a ton of player props starting to get posted for NFL Week 6, which means that there is ample opportunity to lock in some awesome NFL player props. Of course, the best way to do that would just be to hop on OddsJam, hop on the positive expected value page, and go from there. So using OddsJam, you are able to get betting opportunities in which you gain an edge over the sportsbook. An unfortunate reality of sports betting, that's a tongue twister, is that sportsbooks generally have the edge over you. They mark up their odds a little bit. They charge a vig or a juice, something like that. It's how they make their money. They basically tax the odds, however you want to think about it. That's how they make their money. So every every bet, they have some sort of edge, some sort of house money built into that edge, right? They get some sort of percent. So what OddsJam does, and which is really cool, is you see this column here, the no vig odds. OddsJam just removes the vig to provide you with the most accurate odds in terms of the true line of what sportsbooks price odds, and then gives you betting opportunities in which you can gives you betting opportunities in which you are beating the closing line, the no vig odds that you see here. It's a really cool concept. Basically, the easiest way that I like to explain it to people, just pretend that the New York Stock Exchange is pricing the Facebook stock $300 a share. And you can get it on some trading site, like whatever, at $280 a share. That $20 difference between what the New York Stock Exchange is offering versus what you can get it at, that's going to be valuable. It's the same thing with sports betting, right? The smartest sports books in the world, like Pinnacle, like BetOnline, price bets, and then we look for situations where we beat those odds with the vig removed. So let's look at this very first one. Josh Allen over 2.5 passing touchdowns. It's a lot. 3 touchdowns is a lot. Last time Josh Allen played the Chiefs, he threw 4 touchdowns to one player. So he's definitely possible. This is also just a huge revenge game for the Bills, obviously. Knocked them out of the playoffs 2 years in a row. The Chiefs' defense has been faltering the past 2 weeks. I absolutely love this one. I think it's a great play. And just look at the math behind it, right? No vig line prices this at plus 163. The typical line that you are betting it at is giving it to you at plus 175. So the way the math works here is the over no vig line is priced at plus 163. The under is priced at minus 163. So if you're betting the over, which is the bet here, right? It's highlighted, it's bolded, it's got the blue line, the blue outline. Anywhere in which you can get better odds than plus 163, basically plus 164 and above, is going to be positive expected value, which this plus 175 on Tipico is. So I have not locked in this bet yet. I would like to put a half of a unit on it. I think it's worth half of a unit play. Tipico won't let me. Normally they let me get like $10 max. So we'll see if they will accept that. No. So I guess we're looking at a $5 bet here. But for those of you at home, you should put whatever half of a unit is for you on this play, Josh Allen over 2.5 passing touchdowns. Again, for me, I would like to put 50. They wouldn't let me. So let me just add this one to my bet tracker. So another thing I like, right? We talked about the math. Plus 163, Tipico at plus 175. You could also get it at Bet Rivers at plus 165. That would still be positive expected value. Hell, I might go lock it in on Bet Rivers after we're done recording. But look at where all of the other books price it. Pinnacle, like I mentioned, sharpest sportsbook in the world, plus 151. BetOnline, another sharp sportsbook, plus 155. DraftKings, which because they're a daily fantasy sports company, does a pretty good job pricing player props specifically, plus 135. 40 full cents lower than when you can get it at on Tipico, or 30 cents at Bet Rivers. It's the same exact bet, but you're literally sacrificing a possible $30 just from one bet. It's the same, if it wins, it loses. It's the same exact bet, but because we're line shopping, getting this at Tipico or Bet Rivers, we're literally saving $30 or $40, depending on how much you put on this. Could be more, could be a little bit less. So line shopping, incredibly important. Placing positive expected value bets, incredibly important. So this Josh Allen one, passing touchdowns over 2.5, I absolutely love. I think it's a great play. I would love to put half of a unit on it if Tipico let me. Maybe I will go to Bet Rivers and lock this one in. But for now, my first NFL player prop to hammer, Josh Allen over 2.5 passing touchdowns. So the next one that I really like, same exact market, player passing touchdowns. In this case, we are going to back Jalen Hurts to go over 1.5 passing touchdowns, plus 140 on PointsBet. It's another positive expected value play. The no vig odds pricing this at about plus 133 if you want to round up to plus 134. And we can get it all the way up at plus 140 at PointsBet. Same thing here. Look at where all the other books are pricing it. The closest book is Pinnacle, a full 19 cents lower than when PointsBet is offering this at plus 140. So this one I should be able to get the full half unit on. We will see if they accept it. Another $50 play for me. Half of a unit. Nope, I was wrong. They will let me get $10.71. That hurts. But for those of you at home, it should be another half of a unit play. So whatever 0.5% of your bankroll is what you should put on this one. For me, only $10.71. That means both of these bets are going to win because they wouldn't let me put a lot of money on them. And then the bets that I put more money on that they do allow me to get are going to lose. That's how it works. But so for the math, right? We talked about it. Plus 133 all the way up to plus 140. That 6 to 7 cent difference is massive. Also, just compare it to all the other books. It's just insane. Plus 121, plus 115, plus 120. Caesars is all the way at plus 112. This plus 140 is absolutely an outlier compared to every other sports book. And that's what we're looking for when we're sports betting, right? You just want to take advantage of outliers. If you do that more often than not, you will be profitable. I will admit from a handicapping perspective, this one is a little bit nerve-wracking. Jalen Hurts has only gone over 1.5 passing touchdowns twice this year. It was against the Commanders, who have a horrible pass defense. He's been rushing it in a ton. Now, over the course of a season, yeah, he'll probably get more rushing touchdowns than passing, but the Eagles get to the goal line so often that maybe one of these times AJ Brown breaks one, Devonta Smith breaks one, or maybe they run an RPO, get an easy touchdown to Dallas Goedert. It's not out of the realm of possibility that Jalen Hurts doesn't get any rushing touchdowns, instead throws for 2. It just hasn't happened a ton this year. So for the value of plus 140 odds, I absolutely think it's worth it. So this is going to be my second player prop, NFL player prop. Jalen Hurts over 1.5 passing touchdowns, plus 140 on PointsBet. The last play that I want to lock in here is Lamar Jackson under 0.5 interceptions. So basically doesn't throw an interception. I'm going to put a full unit on this one. And FanDuel normally lets me. They don't have me limited a ton. So Lamar Jackson, no interception, minus 114 odds. It is worth 1 unit, which for me is $100. So let me add this one to my bet tracker. And I don't want to belabor the point in terms of what we look at, right? But it's the same thing. No vig odds, minus 120. FanDuel giving it to you at minus 114. 6 cent gap between these two numbers gives you positive expected value. Look at where all the other books price it. FanDuel at minus 114. Every other book in the minus 140s except for Bet Rivers, which is just 3 cents lower. Minus 145, minus 145, minus 140, minus 137, minus 147. All of these books are pricing it significantly as a more favorable bet than what we are getting it at FanDuel at minus 114. Lamar Jackson has been incredible this year. He's been amazing. The Giants defense is a little bit overrated. They're not even like a top half defense if you just look at advanced stats. Now, yeah, they looked good against Aaron Rodgers last week. That's more of a name brand team, the Packers, than an actual good team. Other than that, look at who the Giants have played. The Panthers, Baker Mayfield stinks. They have played the Titans, Ryan Tannehill. I mean, he's okay, but he stinks. They beat the Bears, who we all saw last night. Justin Fields stinks. So not exactly a murderer's row of opponents. And I think the Ravens, they're one of my good bets, I think, to cover the spread. I love the Ravens in this game to cover. So I think that the Ravens are going to win big. The Giants, one thing they don't do is get a ton of turnovers. So I do like this play a lot. Under 0.5 interceptions, doesn't throw an interception, minus 114 on FanDuel. And that is going to be it. Those are going to be my 3 NFL player props. So if you're tailing these, let me know. I would love to hear it. Comment on the video. Let me know you're tailing. Other than that, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, check out the OddsJam podcast to sweat the bet. All that good stuff helps me out a ton. But that's it. So enjoy NFL Week 6 and have a good one.